Have you ever wondered how a man can lose respect without anyone humiliating him, without anyone defeating him, without any real enemy in sight? It happens in a much quieter way, a way most men never notice, a way that destroys power from the inside out. It happens through his own mouth, through the words he chooses, through the noise he spills into the world without control. And the scary part, he thinks he's being strong while he's actually giving his strength away. That's why here on Human Code, I want to show you the silent mistakes that weaken a man long before life ever challenges him. Some men talk themselves into weakness. They argue too quickly, defend too aggressively, and bragged too proudly. Every time they speak without discipline, they leak power, and the world can sense it instantly. Because power isn't noise. Power is presence. The loudest man in the room is rarely the strongest. The Stoic man, the grounded man, moves like a silent storm. He knows silence is not the absence of voice. It is the presence of control. He understands that words once spoken can never be taken back. They can only be regretted. As the ancient philosopher once said, better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. Because your words don't just describe you, they define you. There are certain phrases foolish men repeat without realizing they are shaping their own downfall. And replacing these weak phrases with disciplined, Stoic language can transform your mind, your presence, and the respect you command. The first trap is the phrase, "I already know that." The foolish man loves this line. He uses it to protect his ego, not to expand his mind. He confuses remembering something with mastering something. He would rather sound smart than become wise. But the Stoic man understands a truth that terrifies insecure men. You cannot learn what you think you already know. A wise man doesn't walk into a room trying to defend what he believes. He walks in wondering what he has missed. He listens before he argues. He observes before he reacts. Because real intelligence is not about having answers. It's about staying hungry for better questions. Modern men scroll through quotes, videos, and podcasts and call it growth. But reading about discipline is not discipline. Talking about strength is not strength. Knowledge without action is just noise, distraction disguised as wisdom. The disciplined man knows that until the truth becomes habit, it is still theory. So the next time you want to say, "I already know that," ask yourself a harder question. Do I live this, or do I only talk about it? That single question separates men who grow from men who pretend. Another phrase that weak men cling to is, "It's not my fault." This sentence destroys responsibility. It destroys resilience. It destroys progress. It is the cry of a man who wants sympathy more than strength. And every time he says it, he hands his power to someone else. Because if nothing is ever your fault, then nothing can ever be your victory. Life will hurt you. People will betray you. Circumstances will turn against you. But your response is still yours. And that response is your weapon. The fool blames the world. The Stoic learns how to move through it. Responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is power. It means you have control over your next step. And the man who takes responsibility becomes unbreakable, because he stops waiting for fairness and starts building his own destiny. Then there is the classic mask of insecurity. I don't care what anyone thinks. Men say this to look strong. But if you truly didn't care, you wouldn't need to announce it. Real indifference is quiet. True confidence doesn't need slogans. The wise man doesn't reject all opinions. He filters them. He doesn't crave approval, but he doesn't push the world away either. He simply asks, is this within my control? If the answer is no, he releases Italiano. If yes, he improves it. This is why he moves with a calm that cannot be shaken by praise or criticism. The fool reacts. The Stoic responds. The fool speaks to impress. The Stoic acts with purpose. And when a man lives by principle rather than validation, the world naturally respects him. Another self-destructive phrase is, "That's just how I am." These words sound harmless, but they are the death of growth. They're a shield that protects weakness instead of refining it. No man is born complete. No man is born finished. You are either evolving or decaying. To say that just how I am, is to choose stagnation and call it identity. The Stoic man knows the mind is flexible, moldable, and trainable. He is not a fixed being. He is a sculptor, shaping himself through discipline, reflection, and action. And the moment he stops changing, he stops living. There are many more phrases like these sentences that close the mind, weaken the spirit, and poison personal power. But the goal is not to memorize them. The goal is to understand the principle behind them. Your words either build your discipline or destroy it. The world respects the man who controls his voice because it knows he can control his life. The foolish man leaks power through defensiveness, excuses, and pride. The Stoic man collects power through silence, responsibility, and clarity. The foolish man needs to prove himself. The Stoic man needs only to understand himself. And the deeper that understanding grows, the less noise he makes. If you want to become a man others naturally respect, start with your language. Speak less. Observe more. Let your presence say what your words don't have to. And remember this. The world listens differently when a man speaks with discipline, when he speaks with intention, when he speaks from a place of inner strength rather than insecurity. So if these truths hit you today, leave a comment that says, I choose wisdom over noise. And if this message opened your eyes, make sure you stay connected to Human Code, where we break down the psychology of strength, discipline, and becoming a man who cannot be shaken. Because in a world full of loud men, be the one who speaks with purpose, walks with power,